Hey everybody, welcome. I hope you had a beautiful week and a lot of fun playing around with Dash apps. So in this week, I'm going to show you how to build multi-page apps with Dash. I'm going to show you how to build this Offcanvas sidebar multi-page app, and I'm going to show you how to build this multi-page app with the navigation bar and a drop down with multiple pages. Now, this is building a multi-page app with Dash Labs. This is the beta version of multi-page apps. This has not been released to Dash yet. This will shortly be released, but you can actually build your own apps with Dash Labs by downloading or cloning the Dash Labs repository, this repository right here. And I highly recommend you test it out, even though it's a beta version, because of two main reasons. One, you're going to get a head start. If you know already and learn how to create multi-page apps with the beta version with Dash Labs, it's going to be a lot easier for you once we release it to actually create multi-page apps within the Dash main library. There's only going to be one or maybe two changes at this stage. It's very close to being finalized. The second reason is that it's going to allow you to improve this open source element or capability. Remember, Dash is open source, so you are the community member that is building this out. You are the people that we rely on to understand, are there any bugs? Are there any issues? Are there any fixes that we need to make? Are there any things that we can enhance and improve in the multi-page app experience? So we really rely on you and your feedback. So hopefully we can get that inside the YouTube comments. All right. So to get started, you can either download this, a similar example of this app by going into the documentation of Dash Labs, going into demos, and you'll see there's a few multi-page apps here. This one is the multi-page app example 1, which has most of the files. I added another file on my GitHub, so you can go here and you can go into Dash More Advanced Bleep, go into multi-page app, and here's what you need to download and to have inside your computer to run these two separate apps with the same pages. Eventually it should look like this. Whatever you call it. I call this multi-page app example 1. You can call it my new app. Make sure you have your pages, the 4 pages here, 5, 6 pages, whatever you want. And then the main directory, make sure you have your main app files, either app or app2 with sidebar. You don't need both. You shouldn't run them both. It should be either this script main app or this app that you run, right? You either want it with a sidebar off canvas, or you want it with a navigation bar with drop down pages. So choose one or the other. All right, so once you have this open inside your computer, make sure that you open all the pages, because we're going to go over the heat map, the bar chart, the histogram, not found, and then open the two app pages, the 2 main app pages. Again, you don't need both, only one of them, but open them just so we can see them. Okay, so to get started, what you want to do is install these libraries. You need to have these libraries installed inside your environment for this Dash app to work. So make sure you go to terminal and do pip install dash inside your environment, pip install dash labs, because again, this is like the sandbox. This is where we are testing things out. So you need to install Dash Labs and install Dash Bootstrap we're using. So pip install Dash Bootstrap. And typically you don't need this, but in one of these pages we're using NumPy. So just pip install NumPy. All right, so once you have all the libraries installed, we're going to look over the pages. First, I'm going to talk about these 3 pages, and then I'm going to talk about the main app, which shows us, it's going to show you how to put the pages inside the main app. So if you want to skip to a certain section of the video where we're talking about a certain page, or where we start talking about the main pages, just under the video, you'll see, right under it, you'll see different sections. Feel free to skip to that section. All right. So let's start with the heat map, because the heat map is going to be file is going to be our first page. As you can see here, if if I refresh like this, you see that the first page is our heat map. Now, this is going to be, okay, yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm importing dash, and then I'm doing dash dot register page. And what this is doing is actually registering this page into dash. So everything that's going to go in here, the data, the layout, is going to be registered inside dash. We do underscore underscore name underscore, and then you don't have to declare the path, but if you want to declare it, you can do path and assign to path a /. If you assign / to path, it means that this page is going to be the home page. So remember, path / means home page, but if you don't assign it, you see there's no path here and there's no path here. The dash, when it renders the app, it's going to render it alphabetically according to what it is in the pages. So it'll do bar chart, then heat map, and then histogram if there is no path. It will just do it alphabetically. But here we're saying that the home page is going to be heat maps. So you'll see the home page is going to be heat maps, and then it'll be bar chart, because that's alphabetically. Bar chart comes before histogram. And that's why you see here, when you go to the app, you'll see first it's heat maps, and then bar charts, and then histogram. And if you just refresh this page, you'll see that the histogram is the first home page. All right. Now we import everything that we need, including Plotly Express, because we're using Plotly Express to build the figure and to import the data. And here we're going to import the built-in metals Y data inside Plotly Express. This is just as an example. So if you want to build, you can import a CSV sheet here with pandas, read CSV. You can build your data frame in here. You can import data from a database, however you want to do it. But now for tutorial purposes, it's just built-in data. And here we are building the layout. So let's go here. You'll see here we have the layout. And the layout is just going to be an HTML div. That's it. That's all you need to know with really HTML. HTML div, and inside the div, inside the children, we're going to have the metals, a title or string called metals included. You see metals included. And then we're going to have a checklist, and then we're going to have an empty graph. It's going to start with an empty graph. This checklist is going to have an ID, some options, and these options are the df columns. So you can actually print this and see print df head. You'll see the column's name here below. In a few seconds, you'll see these are going to be the options. And these columns should be gold, silver, or bronze. So you'll see here, let me run it. The columns are gold, silver, or bronze, right? So these are the options. And then the value chosen is going to be the list of all these columns. So that's why all values are chosen from the very beginning. When we refresh the app, all values are chosen. If you want just the gold to be chosen, then you'll just put here list gold, right? Oops, gold like this. But we want all values, so we'll do that. Then we have an empty graph, but you'll never see the empty graph because immediately the callback actually creates the graph. So here we're taking the value from the heat maps metals. What is this? This ID is here, so this is a checklist. So we're taking the value of the checklist, which is all three gold, silver, and bronze, and it's going to be in here inside the callback function. And we're going to take this checklist, and we're going to say build an image, or what do you call it, a heat map, where the df columns, which with the columns chosen from df. So it's going to be all three columns. But if we do this, if we only do the silver and gold column, we're building a heat map with only the gold and silver columns, right? Because this is changed, the value was changed inside the callback function. And then we build this figure, and we return this figure object into the figure prop of the figure, of the graph, right? So this actually is this, which this goes into here, which actually goes into here. This is the same thing as equals fig, right? This is the same thing, but you don't do it like that because you want it interactive. Okay, so this is the heat map. Now we can go into the bar charts. You'll see in the bar chart, we're doing something similar. We're importing dash. We are registering the page, importing all the dash everything that we need from the dash library, Plotly Express. We're going to build a data frame, the built-in data frame tips, create unique days, an object of unique days, and inside this layout, we're going to have just a regular div. We'll have a drop down and a graph. So that's why you'll see if we go into the bar chart, we'll have a drop down. Oh, I got it stuck for a sec. Let me just see, play. There we go. If we go into the, there we go. So if we go into the bar chart right here, you'll see that we have a drop down and then we have a figure, right? It starts with Sunday. There's many days, but it starts with Sunday because you'll see that the drop down has the value equals the first day, day 0. And here are all the options for X in days, right? We have unique days. Choose a first day and not clearable, so we don't have an X here. We can't clear an option. There's always going to be an option inside the drop down. And then we have an empty graph, but from the very beginning, as the app loads, this figure is going to be created. And right here, you see we create this figure, and we're going to return it inside the figure of the bar chart. So at the beginning, this figure is probably like an empty dictionary. But instead of this empty dictionary, we're going to put this figure right here, okay? So what are we actually doing? We're taking the value of the dropdown, which at the very beginning is Sunday, but it could be Monday if the user chooses Saturday, if the user chooses Saturday. And then it's creating, it's filtering the data frame, so it only in the day columns, in the day column of the data frame, it only chooses the day that was chosen, like Saturday or Sunday. And then this filter data frame is used inside the bar graph with x-axis, y-axis, color, and bar mode. X is a sex, and Y is a total bill, right? So you can choose the days, and you can see different things. All right, so this is really how we're building pages. I'll go briefly over the histogram. We're doing the same thing. We're importing all the libraries. We're also using NumPy here. We'll create our layout, which has a graph, a title, or a string, a slider, a string, and a slider. And that's why you'll see here, we'll go into the histograms. You'll see a graph, string, slider, string, and a slider. Okay. And this graph changes because we're doing, in the callback, we're taking, we're creating the value of the first slider, right? This value right here, and the value of this slider right here. They're both inputs. So any value that is any value that changes actually triggers the callback, right? Whatever value, whatever slider you change is going to trigger the callback. And what it does here, it just creates the data, and then it creates a histogram with this random data, and we're taking out the legend, and then this histogram we're putting inside the figure prop of the DCC graph. All right, so this is how we build the layout of each and every page inside Dash. But now that you have the layout, now you want to make sure that all these pages go into the main app page. So how do we do that? You go into the main app page. Let's do this one. This app page is actually, when executed, is actually this page right here, the navigation bar with the drop-down menu. And we're doing this with Bootstrap. So what we're doing is we're importing all these libraries. We are instantiating Dash, declaring this plugin, or assigning this plugin, which you won't need when the Multipage app element or capability is released into Dash. You won't need this. It won't be a plugin anymore. And then we're declaring a Flatly Bootstrap theme, which is like this kind of colors and styles. And then we're creating the navbar object. This navbar object is just going to be a Dash Bootstrap component, navbar simple. You can see here if you want to go, this is the navbar component. You can click here, navbar, and you'll see an example of a navbar simple and like this. So I really just took the code from here when I was building this, because it gives you a lot of examples of navigation bars with a search function and so on and so on. So I'm building the navigation bar. Inside the navigation bar, nav bar, there's going to be a drop-down menu, and this is how I create the nav bar. Now we'll go back to this in a sec. This nav bar goes inside the app layout. So this is an important section. This is like the main layout of the app. You're going to have app.layout equals, or you're going to assign to it the Dash Bootstrap container, which is like HTML div, but for Bootstrap. And then you can do fluid true or false, just styling. You'll see the difference. We want to declare the page container. You have to declare the page container in here towards the end of the list, right? But in the list, the main layout is going to be the nav bar. The nav bar is just this Dash Bootstrap navigation bar. So that's all it is. So as you can see, the main layout is this navigation bar. This is the main layout. But every time we change pages, everything underneath the navigation bar is going to change. You see? But the main layout that is always going to stay the same and consistent is this navigation bar. And this navigation bar is built from the drop-down menu. This is where we put all the pages into the drop-down menu. Now this is the most important part of the video, so make sure to listen carefully and ask me any questions if you have. Look at what I'm doing here. I'm saying this is a for loop, like a list comprehension, right? We're saying for page in dash page registry dot values. So I'm going to go into the dash page registry, and for every single page, I'm going to create. So there's going to be if the page doesn't equal a 404, then I'm going to create a drop-down menu. So I'm going to create 3 drop-down menus from the bar chart, Heatmap, and Histogram, not the 404 because this is here. And these 3 drop-down menus are going to have the name of the page, and they're going to have the link, the href, right? This is what you see here, the name of the page, and then the link just takes it to the page. You see here, bar charts. You see here, well, this is home page, so it doesn't say heat maps because path equals _ / histograms. All right. But how is it doing this? Like, what is the page registry? Page registry is what was built from your pages. Every time you went into a page and you did register page, that goes into a registry. Register this bar chart, that goes into a registry. So you have 4 different pages inside the page registry, and you're accessing the values of the page registry. But what I would recommend is printing this out. So go like this. For x in dash page registry dot values, let's print out x, or in this case it's like page, right? This is like page. So let's print out the page. So if we go here, you see that it printed out 4, let's make this a little bit smaller, 4 different pages. Now these are ordered dictionaries. You see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The last page is not found, and the first page is heat maps because in heat maps we had path /, and then it's alphabetical, so then it's bar charts, and then it's histograms. And in every single ordered dictionary, we have all the information that we need in order to create the drop-down menu or the Offcanvas sidebar that we do here in a couple of minutes. So you'll see here, you see here there's there's a dictionary with keys and key values. So we'll have module is the page, we'll have the name of the page, we'll have the title of the page, which is heat maps, and also we'll have the path of the page, / here this is bar charts, and so on and so on. So this is what I need to access in the for loop in order to create the different drop down items. So in the first loop of the for loop, we're going to see this page or this ordered dictionary, and we're accessing page the name. So we're accessing the value of the name key, of the key name. So the value is heat maps, and that's why the name is heat maps. So if you go here, you'll see the name heat maps. And the second one we're accessing right here, before that. And we're also going to say the link, when you click on the drop down heat maps name, it's going to take you to the page path, and page path is right here. And remember, this page path was right here declared. So it's going to take you to this layout right here. Okay. We'll do one more page. In the second page, if we open this drop down menu, we click on bar charts, we'll see that it's called bar charts because in the second page, bar charts is the name, and the path is / bar charts. Now this is automatic, even though you did not declare a path, there's nothing in here. Even though you didn't declare, it will automatically do bar charts because bar charts is the name of the Python file. It's smart enough to actually do that. Very smart coders that we have. So that's why when you click on this page on bar charts, it will take you to the bar charts, and it will say here bar charts as well. And then you can change and play around with the callback. So that's what you're doing. Similarly, we're building a different app that is the Offcanvas sidebar, and the Offcanvas sidebar is in Bootstrap, so you can read all about it. Go to the Offcanvas. I'll put this link under the video as well, and you'll see different examples of Offcanvas. And again, this is so well written that I just copy pasted this into the code and just changed one label or one option, and really that's it. And this is how I built the Offcanvas. Okay, so what we did is, this is the app, right? So this is how it's built. Remember, in the layout, we're going to declare the page container, page _ container, and we're going to put in the children of the container, we'll put the Offcanvas. And the Offcanvas is just an HTML div. It's just a section of the page. Of the Offcanvas, you'll see it has a button and it has an Offcanvas, and they connect to each other. They understand each other and communicate with each other through this callback. I'm not going to go into the callback right now because of lack of time, but you just have to copy paste the callback into your code. Nothing else, just copy paste it. You don't have to change anything because it's using this ID, Offcanvas and OpenCanvas ID, that you see here. So if you don't change this IDs, then you can just use this callback. So you see here we have a button. The button is called Explore, and if you click on the button, you'll see these 3 pages, and this is because of this callback. You can just copy paste, and the 3 pages are right here. You see, this is similar. We're creating a Bootstrap list group. Again, this list group is, you can see here in the list group component, and it'll show you different examples of a list group. And so I'm creating this list group, and inside the children, I'm doing a for loop, and I'm saying if the page is doesn't equal the page not found, this last page, if it doesn't equal that, then go over the for loop and create for every order dictionary inside the loop, create a list group item, right? It's going to have a page name, and it's going to have an href. It's going to have like the link, and it's exactly the same as the first app. It's just going to access the page name and going to access the page path of the -page registry .values, which, remember, if you print it like you did here, if you print this, then you can see actually every single path, and you can see the name to create your own names and to create your own paths if you want. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. I really recommend you download, you pip install dash-labs, and you play around with multi-page apps, because it's going to allow you to get a head start on building your multi-page apps, really understand how it works, and it's not really going to change. Maybe one or two things might change, but soon it will be released and you will already know how to create multi-page apps. And also remember, you are the community. You are building dash open source, and we rely on your feedback. We rely on your interesting thoughts of what can be built, how we can enhance it, how we can develop it, and even build a stronger dash multi-page app and dash capabilities. And also, if you see any bugs, right, if you see any issues, then let us know. Explore two different things. Highly recommend you explore two different things in this documentation that Anne-Marie wrote up. Actually, this whole code also belongs to Anne-Marie. Make sure that you go towards the end. You'll see the different attributes that you can put inside the register page, right? So this is the register page, and each page you register a page into Dash. You have some attributes. So you can put use many different attributes. You can use the name, the title. You can do order. So maybe you want the bar chart to be the first page, or maybe you want the histogram to be the first page. So you do the order. And you can also put images and layouts. And here you'll see all the different explanations of every single attributes. Also, go to if you're done with this and where you're happy, there's also a chapter on nested pages. So it'll show you how to create a nested pages. So you'll have heat map, and there'll be several pages underneath heat map, or bar chart, several pages under bar chart. And also we have this chapter 10 about meta tags and images and so on and so on. So it's very I'm really excited about this. It's very new capabilities, and it really makes building multi-page apps a lot easier, a lot more user-friendly than in the past. And I think it's one of the fastest ways of creating a multi-page app. So write in the comments if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed. Always remember, we're better together, so always help each other out. Until next time. Oh, next week I'm going to put a video on how to share data between multi-page apps. So subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification, and you'll get notified as soon as I share that information on sharing data between different pages of your multi-page app. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.